Making accessible font choices. Whenever you type content, the font choices you make can determine how easy it is for someone to read what you've typed. Here's a lecture in Microsoft Word that's almost ready to be posted online for students to read, but there's a few font considerations that will need to be made before uploading it. Later, we'll also take a look at how to make font adjustments in the content editor of a learning management system. Right now, you might be wondering, what are fonts? Simply put, they're those different styles of typed text that you've seen all around. There's lots of them, but some fonts are more suited for readability than others. For print media, Times New Roman is widely accepted. However, for online or digital content like the lecture from earlier, consider using fonts that were specifically developed for digital content, such as Verdana, Tahoma, Trebuchet MS, and Georgia. Microsoft Office's default font, Calibri, is another great option. It might be easier to simply think about whether or not the font style you've chosen is easy to read. This lecture was typed using a font style called HG Gothic E, which looks a little inconsistent because it doesn't have very good spacing between the characters and maybe a little too much spacing between the words. So I'm going to change the font style by pressing Ctrl A to select all of the text and then selecting a new font style. I'll go with Trebuchet MS. While this text is still selected, I'm going to check on the font size. A good rule of thumb is to use a size between 12 and 18 point. Let's make this text a little larger by enlarging it to 12 point. Before posting a document, it's also a good idea to make sure you've avoided capitalizing large amounts of text. When many words are capitalized all together, the text is often difficult to read, and when used online, this is sometimes viewed as the equivalent of yelling. Okay, the font style and size in this document are looking pretty good. In the content editor of a learning management system, the toolbar above the editor makes it easy for you to make similar font style and font size changes to your content. Taking a few minutes to make sure you've used accessible font choices helps ensure that your content is readable.